I thought Sarah was the one. We'd been together for 5 years, and I was just weeks away from proposing. I had the ring, a beautiful diamond I'd saved up for, tucked away in my sock drawer. I'd even booked a romantic getaway to the coast, the same place we had our first date. Everything was perfect, or so I thought. The signs were there. I just chose to ignore them. The late nights at the office, the hushed phone calls she'd quickly end when I walked into the room, the way she'd started guarding her phone like it held state secrets. I chalked it up to stress from her new promotion. I wanted to be the supportive boyfriend, the one who trusted her completely. That trust was my biggest mistake. The truth hit me like a freight train on a Tuesday afternoon. I'd left work early, wanting to surprise her with her favorite takeout. I walked into our apartment, the familiar scent of her perfume mixed with something else, something masculine and unfamiliar. I heard voices from the bedroom, laughter. My heart started pounding in my ears. I crept closer, pushing the slightly ajar door open just a crack. And there they were. Sarah, with my best friend, Mark. The man who was supposed to be my best man. The two people I trusted most in the world, betraying me in the most brutal way imaginable. I didn't storm in. I didn't scream or shout. A strange, icy calm washed over me. I quietly backed away, closed the front door without a sound, and walked out of the building. I sat in my car for what felt like hours, the takeout getting cold on the passenger seat, just replaying the scene in my head. The betrayal wasn't just from Sarah. It was Mark, my friend since childhood. And it got worse. I started making calls. Our mutual friends, the ones I thought were my friends too. They'd seen them out together, heard the rumors, and said nothing. Some even covered for them. My entire world, the support system I thought I had, was a lie. I was completely and utterly alone. That night, something inside me broke, but in its place, something new and cold began to form. They thought I was a fool, someone they could walk all over. They were about to find out just how wrong they were. I wasn't going to get angry. I was going to get even, but not with loud confrontations or messy scenes. My revenge would be cold, calculated, and absolute. They had destroyed my life, so I was going to systematically dismantle theirs, using their own secrets and weaknesses against them. Phase 1 was about to begin. I started with Mark. He had a great job at a competitive finance firm, a position he was incredibly proud of. He was also a little too fond of embellishing his achievements and, as I discovered, I spent a week digging, calling old university contacts, cross-referencing his LinkedIn profile with actual records. It turned out that prestigious internship he always bragged about never happened. The first-class honors on his degree he barely passed. I compiled all this evidence into a neat, anonymous email, complete with verifiable proof, and sent it straight to the head of his company's HR department. I simply titled it, "A Concerned Observer." 2 weeks later, Mark was called into a meeting and unceremoniously fired for professional dishonesty. His career, the foundation of his ego, was shattered. He never knew it was me. Next was our so-called group of friends, the ones who watched me get played and did nothing. I knew their dirty little secrets because they used to trust me with them. There was Chloe, who was cheating on her fiancé with a guy from her gym, and Ben, who had a secret gambling problem and owed a lot of money to some very unsavory characters. I didn't expose them directly. That would be too obvious. Instead, I became a master of planting seeds. A carefully worded anonymous text to Chloe's fiancé. Ask her about her Thursday evening workouts. A misdelivered betting slip left on the doorstep of Ben's parents' house. One by one, their perfect little lives began to unravel. The chaos all stemming from their own actions. All I did was provide the spark. They fanned the flames themselves, turning on each other, their group imploding under the weight of paranoia and suspicion. Finally, it was Sarah's turn. This had to be perfect. She was a social media manager, curating a flawless online image of success and happiness. Her whole identity was tied to her online persona. While we were together, I'd helped her build her freelance business, setting up her website and managing her client accounts. I still had all the back-end access. I waited for the perfect moment. The day she was launching a huge campaign for a major client. The night before the launch, I logged into her professional accounts. I didn't delete anything. That would be too crude. Instead, I subtly changed everything. I replaced her polished, professional portfolio with cringeworthy photos from her awkward teenage years. I altered the text on her website, peppering it with typos and nonsensical business jargon. The piece de resistance was her scheduled email blast to her entire client list. I rewrote it. Instead of announcing her new campaign, the email was a long, rambling, and deeply personal confession. It detailed, in embarrassing and exaggerated detail, a fictional account of her struggles with everything from personal hygiene to a bizarre obsession with collecting toenail clippings. It was so outlandish, so utterly insane, that it couldn't possibly be real. But it was just believable enough to cause irreparable damage. I hit send and logged out for the last time. The next morning, my phone was blowing up. Not with calls for me, but with the delicious fallout of my actions. Sarah's career was in flames. Her biggest client dropped her immediately. Her social media was a dumpster fire of mockery and confusion. She frantically tried to do damage control, claiming she was hacked, but the narrative was already set. The toenail girl, as the internet quickly dubbed her Baykamia Mame. Her carefully crafted image was destroyed overnight, not with anger or violence, but with pure, unadulterated humiliation. She had betrayed my love, so I took away the thing she loved most, her reputation. With my mission complete, I packed a single bag. I sold the apartment, the furniture, everything. I took the money from the ring, not to a bar, but to a travel agent. I bought a one-way ticket to a place I'd never been. As the plane took off, I looked down at the city lights, the place that held so much pain. I didn't feel triumph, not really. I just felt quiet. The icy grip of revenge had melted away, leaving a hollow emptiness. I had won, but what had I really gained? I had torn down their worlds, but I was still standing in the rubble of my own. The revenge was cold, but the aftermath was even colder. A new chapter was beginning, and this time, I was the only author. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've ever felt betrayed, know that the best revenge isn't always about getting even. It's about moving on and building a better life for yourself. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.